This is the Build a Vibrant Culture podcast, your source for the strategies, systems, and smarts you need to turn possibility into purpose. Every week we dive into dynamic conversations as our host, Nicole Greer, interviews leadership and business experts. They're here to shed light on practical solutions to the challenges of personal and professional development. Now, here's your host, a professional speaker, coach, and consultant, Nicole Greer.
Welcome, everybody, to the Build a Vibrant Culture podcast. My name is Nicole Greer, and they call me the Vibrant Coach. And I am on a mission to bring all sorts of humans to you that can help you build a vibrant culture. So today I have, for the second time on the podcast, he's worth repeating. I have Rich on the show, and look, he's got a brand new book out, everybody, The 1 Minute Jerk at Work. So let me tell you a little bit about Rich. Rich's expertise and understanding of human resources world comes from living in it for 25 years, and he is surviving. Go, Rich.
Yep.
Currently a human resources and employee relations consultant. As a corporate leader, he's held critical roles leading at companies like the Home Depot, and he's sporting his orange shirt today, and Penske and Lowe's, which if you ask him, he'll go put his blue shirt on. Okay, so his career highlights and recognition include he was named Hero of the Economy by CNN for work performed at Circuit City, helping leaders achieve superior employee engagement ratings, and nicknamed Chief Engagement Officer at a major corporation. He is known throughout the professions as Rich, the HR guy. He's published 2 books to help people find career fulfillment titled Career Trust and Unleashing Your Career, which we've got a whole show on that. And as a keynote speaker, his topics include career fulfillment, employee engagement, leadership, and company culture. And in his spare time, which he really doesn't have any because he's doing all this stuff, Rich holds 3 leadership roles within Rotary International. And if you don't know what that is, go Google it. Go do some good things with your life. Join Rotary. Following his retirement, he will become a wish granter for adults diagnosed with a terminal illness in memory of his mother. And everyone deserves a final wish. Oh, Rich, I'm so glad you're back.
It is great to be here again, Nicole. And thank you for the plug about Rotary International. We did
Yeah,
some phenomenal work, and it was a Rotary Club in North Carolina that led to our meeting.
I
So
know.
we do great work in Rotary, and we meet some terrific people and some phenomenal guest speakers like yourself.
Oh, yeah, I love the Rotary. They keep asking me to come talk. I don't know what's going on. We got a love fest going around. Okay, all right. You've got this new book. All right. He sent it to me immediately, hot off the presses, The 1 Minute Jerk at Work. And so you're like, wasn't there another book called The 1 Minute Manager? We're not talking about that 1 Minute Manager. We're talking about the
At
1
least not
minute.
today.
Yeah. That's a whole Stephen Covey thing. Okay. So let's answer the question that's really at the beginning of the book. What is the impact of jerk-like behavior in the workplace?
You know, jerk behavior, formerly known as inappropriate behavior, or if you want to say offensive behavior for a variety, creates absenteeism, creates turnover, creates a lack of trust, creates a lack of productivity. And then, it erodes the company's profits and it can damage the company's brand. So jerk behavior has no place at work. And it's time we stop tolerating it, frankly.
Yeah. And here's what I think, Rich, and I know the book talks about it, is that when we allow the behavior to go on, we're going to lose some of our best people because they're like, I'm not going to put up with this. I got to get my resume together.
Talent has options. We've heard that before. And look, maybe the grass is greener on the other side based on how they're treated. People want to be respected. They want to work in a courteous environment. Not much to ask, but why doesn't that happen automatically? That's where the jerks come in and spoil it for too many.
Yeah, absolutely. So this book, y'all, there's a lot of humor just in the names of these people. But what Rich has done is he's gone in here and he's got a litany of people that he's named so that when you read the book, or it's a resource book is what I'm going to call it.
That's a good analogy. It's, you think of an offensive behavior, and I created 26 personas like condescending Connie and Nastygram Nate. Oh, firstly, Nastygram Nate's one of the guys at work that drives me crazy, and then there's Sherry Shirk and intimidating Ian. And none of them have a place at work. but there's hope for each of them. We're not tossing them out. We're not tossing them out on their heels. Everybody should be given a chance to turn for the best.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And so he just led on to a bunch of these names, but when you were hearing them, you were like Sherry Shirk, which means she ain't doing what she's supposed to be doing. She's letting everybody else clean up after her. I bet you were like, oh, we don't have Sherry, we have Susan. You listen to some of these words, right? Like, so the first one is backstabbing Brian. So let's kind of look closely at one of these little jerks at work. All right. So it says backstabbing Brian. I'm on page 3. It says backstabbing Brian may initially charm you with manipulation to make you feel comfortable, but his underlying intent is to likely drag you down to make himself look better. For him, betraying others and destroying someone's work may feel like recreation. His behavior may be rooted in jealousy, insecurity, or he just wants more attention. Protecting his own lies may be another motive for backstabbing in the hope that truth will not surface. Spreading false rumors, degrading your work, and making derogatory remarks about you are never acceptable.
It's all about Brian. In
Yeah.
Brian always. This is the epitome of the self-centered worker. He would throw you under the bus for a bag of chips or a Big Mac and fries. It's all about Brian and making him look good. Or more importantly, not making him look bad. So backstabbing Brian is ruthless. And for whatever reason, he's exhibiting this behavior. I guess the best news is he's not aware of it. If he's not aware of it, it's a blind spot, and bring it to his attention in the right manner, which can turn him for the best. Worst case scenario, he's been doing it for years and the people above him condone it. The people around him and people above him and people that have groomed him and developed him say, "There's nothing wrong with what he's doing." Well, unfortunately, that limited view is not helping the work engagement within the department. So backstabbing Brian needs to be dealt with. So I made him kind of first chapter for a reason, because that's a baddie, that person is toxic, can bring down the whole department and really hurt the brand and make senior leadership look poor. So backstabbing Brian needs to be dealt with. And how you do this is on a case-by-case basis. The one-size-fits-one methodology works much better than a one-size-fits-all.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Okay, so we've got Brian in our business, or we've got Teflon Tom, or Political Patty, or Wesley the Weasel. That one's hilarious. We've got any of these jerks. What are your suggestions? How does a leader, like, first of all, you have to wake up. And I love what you said about Brian might have a blind spot. And what we mean by that, folks, is that he lacks self-awareness.
I agree. First of all, hope is not a strategy.
No.
A remedy is that you can't hope that it'll go away on its own, because that is near useless, not completely useless. So seeking to understand, take a little bit of effort, a little bit of time to figure out why, and peel back the onion a little bit. Is it short term? Is it long term? Is there something happening to them personally? Is there something at work? Do they have a new boss? Do they have a new leader? Just look at it, but don't spend too much time on analyzing it, because the focus is how to deal with it. And based on what you learn, maybe you take HR as a partner, maybe you take the person's boss, maybe you take a trusted coworker as a partner, just to validate some of the observations. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm seeing. What is your take? Make sure that you're not being overly sensitive, and make sure you're seeing it in the same lens as another reasonable person. And then determining, based on the severity, the length, based on the situation, again, one size fits one. Who's going to build a bridge with Brian in this example, or Patty, or Connie? My advice: how you meet with a person and who meets with a person is incredibly sensitive. First of all, you're taking the person's boss in there with you for a chat. That can send up some alarms with a person. Could become incredibly defensive. So be mindful of that. I think personally, a one-on-one with a person as a first discussion works best. Now, and where you walk in and you meet at the desk and you got a portfolio of company policies and a potload of handwritten notes, say, Brian, we got to talk about something, bud. Probably not the best way to set the tone to not only get his attention, but to make sure he doesn't come up in a defensive posture. So have the conversation, blank slate, just start with talk versus a stack of company policies, company's code of ethics, and tell them what he violated. The best way, reach the person. And by the way, doing this, it takes courage. Some people are resistant, but there is something in it for you. You're doing this, raises your stature. Okay. It shows that you're not afraid to deal with hard issues. It also shows that you are reaching out to help somebody. And that's the cornerstone of business. Where I come from, only rocket science is rocket science. Everything else is pretty simple. It's collaboration, people working together in a courteous, collaborative manner to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to address some hard issues. And once in a while, you're going to have to deliver some tough love. You're going to have to tell somebody something that they probably didn't want to hear, but you're doing it for the team, department, the organization, and the person.
Yeah. Oh, I love that little last thing. Don't miss what he said. He's talking about scope right there. He said for the person, for the team, and for the organization. So, every conversation you ever have with somebody, especially if you're going to do what we call constructive feedback, right? Which is what you need to do with your jerks. You need to have constructive feedback,
Mhm.
is that you're going to have to make sure that they understand, this is not just about you. You're having an impact on your coworkers, like Sherry Shirk. Is that what, did I get it right? Sherry Shirk?
Yeah, very sure.
I mean, she is definitely impacting her coworkers. This guy's walking around with a knife, backstabbing Brian. I mean, we have to wake people up to the fact that they're not working in a bubble. They have this thing that they say, Rich, that I do not like it. I don't even know where it came from. I need to research. I need to chat GPT it. But they say he's an independent contributor. Oh my, I hate that language so much. I don't know where it came from. But I'm like, there are no independent contributors or whatever they're called. I mean, we're all on a team at some level. So I don't even understand that. But the thing I was going to say about sitting people down is, Rich, one of the things that's true about most of us HR folks is that we really do care about people, or we wouldn't have got into
Mhm.
this part of the biz.
Absolutely. And you talk about a vibrant culture.
Yeah.
What does an organization want? Have they realized that culture is more important than strategy and operations together? Because it is. And building a vibrant culture means people working together, they're collaborating together, that they're getting along, they have a shared vision, and they have shared values. And the fewer jerks in the workplace to upset that vibrant culture, it's worth its weight. I mean, yeah, analysis, can't do business without analysis. Got to have strategy, got to have operations, got
Right.
to have engagement,
Product, services, got to have all that.
but it starts with culture. It starts with a culture. You can have all those other pieces and they're rocking and rolling. They're phenomenal. But again, if you don't have a culture where people are working together, sharing the values, and agree to the same mission and how we're going to get there, you're going to have a tough time being successful as an organization.
That's right. That's right. And when I look at all the names of these guys and gals, which again I think are fantastic: Dirty Look Dan, Confrontational Kathy, Nasty Graham Nate, Rumor Mill Roger. I mean, what I think is underneath the jerk part is like a lack of a character trait, right?
Yeah.
My favorite one though of all is on page 17. Pessimistic Pete. Okay. Because I, as you know, Rich, am a flaming optimist.
Mhm.
And just when I'm around Pessimistic Pete, I'm just like, this guy's killing me. He's absolutely killing me. And it's like an energy thing. So optimism is a character trait, and Pete does not have good character. He's lacking optimism.
Pessimistic Pete. He's probably the biggest head scratcher on the list. It's like, what is going on? The guy that shows up and he says, that'll never work, or the boss will never go for that one.
That's right. It's not in the budget.
Exactly. Find every excuse possible to not move forward with something or to consider some ideas. Oh, and there's always, we already tried that one.
Right. In
So
1974.
exactly. So pessimistic Pete, and then listen, he just sucks the energy right out of the department, right out of the work group. And in fact, there will be people that will work around pessimistic Pete. So they'll have a
100%.
pre-meeting without pessimistic Pete and saying, this is what we're going to do because Pete's going to be in the room with us at 2 this afternoon. I
That's
think
right.
this is our play, blah, blah, blah. Let's take the bullets out of Pete's gun. So do your eyes. And yeah, you know,
So he's worse than
listen,
Backstabbing Brian because he's got an armed weapon.
yeah, yeah, but
Pistol.
there's no place for pessimistic Pete. And again, it doesn't matter why, but what it matters is the degree. One person says, I'm not sure we could do that. Okay, that's great. You said that once in the last 2 years, pal, you're human. But the person that says repeatedly,
That's right.
that's the person, that's the pessimistic Pete. That's the guy we need to deal with.
Yeah, 100%. And, at the end of every chapter, you have these two things. And I love a book that's written with like a rhythm to it. And this one definitely has a rhythm. So you go in, you explain about this quote unquote jerk, and then you talk about here's a point to ponder. So,
Mhm.
what am I supposed to do with the point to ponder? And here's the other thing, question to consider. How do I use this to teach my people, help myself, help the team? How do I use this, each little
Yeah.
chapter?
At the end of every chapter is a point to ponder, and it's really a central message, very, very short message to reiterate the focal point of the chapter. Is how easy it is for us to read a chapter and okay, we checked that off the box. So it repeats the common message. Just help the person instill it. Now the question to consider, ask yourself the question, take the time, see how it applies to your current work group, to your current work team. And is it going to make you think differently? Is it going to make you act differently? Is it going to tell you, uh-oh, there's something I've ignored. I probably need to jump on this. Mission accomplished. So versus just reading a chapter and then going on to the next. The book is designed to help the reader, and it's designed for everybody immersed in a career. You know, that CEO of that Fortune 50 company will benefit from this book and these messages. The brand new college graduate who's eager to put a stamp on the world, and he's worked part-time as a lifeguard every summer during college. You know, that'll prepare him. And even the teenager, first job at flipping burgers, he or she needs to understand that not everybody's going to act with common courtesy at every moment. It's not going to be, how are you? Please pass me the ketchup. No, give me that ketchup. Anyway, it's designed for everybody.
Yeah, that's so good. And I just had a thought, like if I was an organization, how fun would it be to have this as part of the onboarding? It's like, hey, we're onboarding today, sign your stuff, and here's the employee handbook. Let's go through that. But let's talk about, and I don't know if you ever heard me say this, Rich, but the most powerful question you can ever ask a human is this question: what is it like to experience you? And so you could like tee up your whole thing like, let's talk about team building. And so the first rule of team building is be user friendly. Right? Here's who we don't want to be, right? And you could actually pick 7 or 8 of these and buy Rich's book for everybody, and say, okay, pick one. And I want you to tell us a story about how you actually experienced this human in your career so far or in college or whatever your story is. I just think it would be a lot of laughs, but at the same time, there could be a secret jerk sitting there that slipped through your hiring process. Who's like, oh
Yeah,
my God, I think I'm pessimistic Pete. It's
I
like
think you're onto
that's not
something.
gonna fly around here.
The first week in their job, and they can say, okay, over the course of my career, I've been obnoxious, Olivia, and I've been dirty looked down a couple of times. And yeah, one time I was guilty of being potty mouth Patrick. Well, there's 3 personas. I'm
That's right.
not gonna demonstrate here at this employer. You know, when I went into HR a little over 20 years ago, employee handbooks were the norm. I mean, everybody had one. They were very, very common. They're not as common as they used to be. And Few of the readers have suggested to me since I published this, for companies that don't have an employee handbook, or companies that are going to get rid of their handbook, or companies that are going to revise their handbook, forget that nonsense. Give them this book. Spend $12 on this paperback, one to jerk at work, and explain it as part of orientation. In the course of your employment, we hope you never experience any of these 26 personas. However, in working around people, you will likely experience some of them. So we want you to please call out jerk-like behavior when it happens. Don't ignore it. Don't hope it'll go away on its own. Jimmy, Susie, and Bobby, don't demonstrate it. If there's any of these 26 personas you think might be acceptable here at Acme Widget Corporation, just ask, okay? And then we'll let you know, no, none of those 26 are invited to be here on the team.
That's
So
right.
good call.
Yeah, yeah. The other thing is, Rich is not saying like, don't tolerate these people. It's like, well, how could we prevent these 26 personas from showing up? And so
Yeah.
on page 55, he's got jerk prevention strategies and techniques, which I love. And so he's got insights and activities. And the first one you talk about is institute the no jerk rule. No explanation is required. But go ahead and explain that because people are like, can you do that? And the answer is
Hey,
yes,
you
you
can,
can.
your company, for those listeners out there, your company can install the no jerk rule.
Right.
Very simple. It states that nobody's allowed to be a jerk. And if you are a jerk, you're going to be informed accordingly, and we'll help you to break this jerk behavior. But we want to go on record that jerks are not allowed here. We've got way too much positive stuff to do to turn a profit, to create great jobs for you and your
That's
coworkers
right. Big
and
futures.
growth in the future. So again, the no jerk rule, just get it out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that that could be a core value. No jerks. I mean, we value positivity, so you can't do that, right? Okay,
I'm
so
gonna I'm gonna write that down. Thank you. I steal shamelessly.
oh, yes, of course. We're all in the same biz. We're just trying to make the world a better place.
Are you ready to build your vibrant culture? Bring Nicole Greer to speak to your leadership team, conference, or organization to help them with their strategies, systems, and smarts to increase clarity, accountability, energy, and results. Your organization will get lit from within. Email her at nicole@vibrantculture.com. And be sure to check out Nicole's TEDx talk at vibrantculture.com.
Okay, all right. Then I don't know when that book was written. I don't even know who wrote it. The first stay interview book. I don't who wrote that thing. I should find him or her. Anyways,
Mm,
a stay interview, everybody, is like if you have happy people at your company, you should
yeah.
go to them and say, "Why are you so happy?" you know, what are we doing right instead of all of this other stuff? Because you say do 3 times as many stay interviews as exit interviews. Talk about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So somebody resigns from the company, if it's 6 months or 6 years or longer, it's natural for somebody to do an exit interview. It's typically human resources. Maybe it's the person's boss. They want to understand why the person left. What lessons could they take? Are there any patterns forming on people that are leaving? Are they leaving for the same reason? Is it behavior, senior leadership? Is it competence? What is it? But the stay interview, you want to understand why people are staying.
That's
What
right.
makes them happy? What makes them excited? I've been fortunate. I've had responsibilities where I've been responsible for the welfare of 20,000 workers at a time at one company and 3,400 at another company and 600 at another company. And my single favorite thing to do was talk to team members. And when I say team members, I mean from the janitor to the executive VP. They're all team members. So, what do you like about this place? What's been the most rewarding? What gets you excited to jump out of bed and come to work every day? I see you've been promoted 3 times in 5 years. That's really impressive. What's inspired you to do that? What are we doing right? What are we doing right? What are we doing right? And then take the what are we doing right, send that message to the person's boss, the person's boss's boss, the department, senior leadership, reminding them of the things employees appreciate. Hence, for every one exit interview, do 3 stay interviews. Again, it's the best part of my experience. Now, will it uncover some jerk behaviors
Of course.
at the same time? Of course. On the flip side, is there anything you wish was different here at Acme Widget Corporation here in, Hoboken, New Jersey? And, well, yeah, I wish we did things different here. And I wish that, my boss would not come in and be a jerk about every other Monday. Okay. And take it from there. So you'll get a little bit of that. But the state interview is what keeps them here? What keeps them engaged? What keeps them excited? Why do they want to contribute at their level? Why do they want to contribute more?
Mm.
So thanks for
So,
asking.
oh yeah, so good. All right, so he's got like 8 other things y'all can do, on the list. You got to get the book. Again, we're talking to Rich about the 1 minute jerk at work, and he's got these fantastic names. So you have a little assignment in here, and this will be kind of the last thing that we talk about, where people can do this really fancy thing we call in organization development reflection.
Mhm.
And they say that reflection is the number one thing that a leader can do to make themselves better. And so we would like to challenge everybody listening, maybe to do the little assignments in the very back of the book where you actually think about the biggest jerk during my career. And like that one, I'm not going to go into the others, but there's like 7 more. But the biggest jerk during my career, if y'all will think about that, that person probably impact your future, the team's
Mhm.
future, the company's future. You're still talking about them. You're still thinking about them. These people sometimes have a very profound, damaging effect. I mean, we're laughing about these names, but these people are damaging. So,
Absolutely. If it's micromanaging Maria, for argument's sake,
uh,
okay, God, worst jerk ever worth. But so what am I going to do to not become a micromanager? What am I going to do to help other people who are feeling like they're micromanagers reflect? Because almost all of us are in a taskmaster minded business. We do stuff. We move stuff from the inbox to the outbox often without even thinking about it. So what can we do? Reflection really, really does help. I had a former boss. He reported in office at 6 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., but he was not to be disturbed until 7:30. And everybody knew it. He was open about it. That's my time, get my day set up
oh, good
and
for him.
reflect. And he was marvelous. He's a marvelous man. And he reflected on what's important. He made sure the important stuff was kept out in front of us versus, God, moving stuff from the inbox to the outbox and just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. So reflection's good.
So good. And so is this book, The 1 Minute Jerk at Work. Rich, if people want to get a hold of you, get their hands on this book, what do they need to do? How do we get a hold of you?
LinkedIn, I welcome LinkedIn connections. So if you Google Rich, the HR guy, you'll get to my LinkedIn profile. Go to LinkedIn and put the jerk at work, Rich Salon, Rich, the HR guy. Please look me up. The book remains for sale on Amazon, and it's been a great experience. Again, my hope is that we don't tolerate jerks, and instead we reach out to jerks. We really try and, extend a hand to them to help them become a productive worker again, make him that all-star, create the turnaround situation of the century, make this person from the most feared one year to the most beloved the next year. You'll be a better person for it. And I guarantee you'll find the gratification.
100%. All right, everybody. That's been another amazing episode of the Build a Vibrant Culture podcast. And listen, both Rich and I want to come into your life, help you with your teams, help you build a vibrant culture, get all the jerks out of there, and take care of business. So if we can help you in any way, please visit me at vibrantculture.com. Also, just go down for a hot second and click the like button, the thumbs up button, whatever kind of button you have on the device that you're using on the platform that you're listening to, and just leave a little love note for Rich. That would be so fantastic. Rich, I appreciate you so much for being on the Build a Vibrant Culture podcast.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks for all you do. Great show. Keep them coming.
Until the next time, let's shine.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Build a Vibrant Culture podcast. If you found value in today's episode, please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more like-minded listeners. Remember, the journey to building a vibrant culture never stops. Stay inspired, keep nurturing your vibrant culture, and we can't wait to reconnect with you on the next exciting episode of the Build a Vibrant Culture podcast.